Now here's a quick one about a gal. She's 24 years old, and a few months ago she and her guy broke up. They were together for a number of years, had a couple kids together. Her ex is like 44, so 20 years older than her. And they've been reconciling, seeing each other, hanging out. They've been having the sex, all that. And recently, even though they've been reconciling and her telling him that she misses him, wants to get back together, she still went out with some other dude and hooked up. And this guy was like, that's it, we're done forever. And she's having a meltdown because he's done with her forever, won't take her back. That'd be a very good one to go over here, guys, just to show you the what's the word here? The justification a lot of gals make on their actions, and yet complain and whine and all and carry on when things don't go the way they want to with their guys. That'd be a pretty good one here, and I'll point these things out as I go on. Title: My boyfriend, a 44-year-old male, refuses to take me back. Is it really over? She says, I'm 24 years old, and my boyfriend, 44, yes, I recognize the age difference, separated in September 2022, after almost 4 years of being together. I moved out and took the kids with me, but we did agree a 50-50 custody of the kids. While he kept our house, I moved back in with my parents. So 20-year age difference, which I have no problem with. The issue is, he started dating her when he was 40 and she was 20, okay? And yeah, there are exceptions, but generally, a gal 20 years old nowadays isn't exactly very mature, you know, let alone having kids with and all that. So what do you expect? But that's no excuse for her, but for him, just a foolish way to go. She couldn't even legally drink when he got together with her. For 3 months, we stayed talking, stayed having sex, and I would always ask him for us to get back together. But each time he refused. So she's pushing the charge to get back together. We never talked about getting back together in the future, so it was a breakup. In December, I went on my first date, and yes, me and the guy ended up having sex. It wasn't anything meaningful, just sex, but I broke it off in mid-January. So they're reconciling and all that. She keeps wanting to get back together. He's like, not yet, but they're still seeing each other. And then she goes out with some other guy. The entire time, I missed my ex, but I'll be honest, it felt good to be desired by someone. Attention and validation. At the same time, it felt wrong because I missed my ex a lot and knew I still wanted to be with him. So even though she wanted him and was making him think that she wants him and he's probably taking it slow on purpose, she still goes and hooks up with another guy. My ex did find out about the other guy because he went looking through my phone one day and we were exchanging the kids. He was hurt and upset that I did not understand how I could be having sex with someone else while telling him all the while that I wanted to be with him. Right. Yes, technically they are broken up, but they are reconciling. And with her constantly saying, I want to be with you, I want to be with you, I love you, I miss you, blah, blah, blah. And remember, this is coming from her perspective. We don't know why they broke up. Probably had something to do with him ending with her for various reasons. Probably her being immature or paying the ass or I don't know what. We're getting a one-sided story here. But nevertheless, her actions went against her words. And he's done. I explained to him that it was just physical, nothing more. And it made me realize I do want to stay with him and fight for our relationship. Well, your actions have showed you're not willing at all to fight for the relationship. And I always thought that was dumb. Fight for the relationship. If you actually have to fight for something like a relationship, obviously it's not worth fighting for. Prior to this, we never had infidelity issues. We were always faithful to each other. We did have money problems. And I do suffer from depression, anxiety, and overall lack of motivation, which did affect our relationship. Oh, so he was probably the white knight that was going to fix her. How nice. He's a great provider and father, and I do believe he did his best to support me when I was down. Well, smack to the guy for pretty much paying for everything. That was the business deal. He was going to provide and pay for things, and he was going to get a young piece of ass. That was, every relationship is a business deal. And by the way, you hear that buzzing noise, guys. The leaf blower's over there, and he just started, but I got to finish the show. This is Florida. There's always yard work going on somewhere. He has 2 other kids on top of the 2 we share, so our home was always busy with kids. Us working, me going to school. And just overall life, I will say that we did argue a lot during our relationship. Looking back, look at over trivial things. And yes, I do acknowledge that we were probably mostly my fault. Yeah, because you're young and immature and all that. But he was also a dumbass for getting a serious relationship with a 20-year-old. I continued to tell him that I love him and that I want to be with him more than anything. I've confided in some of my friends and even my therapist, and they've all said he should not be upset since we were not together in a relationship and it does not count as cheating. Of course her girlfriends say that. Of course, because they're going to side with her and they're probably just like her. Yes, technically they weren't together, but they were reconciling, and she just showed him she wasn't that serious. That's how I interpret this. And since we are broken up, what I really do is not his business. My friends have advised me to give him time and space. I'm just really not sure on what to do or what to think. It's not going to work, lady. Yes, I think deep down, since we're not together, he should not be upset, but I can see why he is. He says he cannot forgive me, and me having slept with someone else is a deal breaker for us getting back together. I really do love him, and I really do want to be with him for the rest of my life. And I've begged him almost every day that I'm sorry, that I made a mistake, and I will do everything I can to fix this and make up for what I've done. Any advice given will be helpful. Thank you. Here's the advice. It's not going to work. She obviously knows she's done something wrong because she's obviously feeling bad and all that, and her gut's telling her something else, in spite of what she says. But no modern, empowered, proud woman is going to want to really actually admit that she was in the wrong here. So there you go, guys. I want you to remember these types of things for you relationship guys, you know. You can be a reconciliation, and then she goes and hooks up with somebody else, and it's like, no, I don't blame this guy at all. So a little lesson there about this type of thing for you relationship guys.